What's up, Fantasy Freaks? Welcome to the NRL Fantasy Freak YouTube channel. My name is Rob, and I'll be your guide for the 2024 NRL Fantasy season. First up, I've got a tier list video for you. I'm going to go through the 42 most selected players right now, who are all over 10% owned. I'll discuss some key points and stats on each player as I try to rank from highest to lowest, who I think are the most important players to have in your round 1 team. First up, we've got Beryl. He's just over 10% owned. I don't think he's relevant. He won't get the starting spot, so he's just in a void for now. And we'll see if injuries occur, he might get his chance later on in the year. Next up is Johnson. He had an injury-affected end to the season with a 47 average for his last 3. However, he still finished with a 63 average and 9 times went over 70. I think this, combined with RTS and CHT returning and another preseason under Webster, he should go big this year. Unfortunately, there's a number of halves to fit into our team this year, and he's not Hines or Cleary, so I'm not sure I can start with him. Next up is Sherry from the Dogs. He's back from his drug suspension, where he averaged 42 back in 2019 playing at centre. That alone makes him a great option if he manages to make it into the team. There are lots of options at the Dogs, and he's one to keep an eye on. I like Kotrick as an option as centre wing cover. He's cheap, had an average of 25 on the wing last year, where he started the last 5. Averaged 28 in 2022, so there's potential there for improvement. I've got Lane down as one to watch during trials. He's got the edge spot sewn up at the Eels, so that's in his favour, but he had a bad season last season and I need to see more from him in trials if I'm going to put him in my team. On the upside, he was a 50-point player in 2022, so if there are any signs of regaining that form, he'll definitely be in my team. Sione Fainu's on the list purely because he's cheap, and I think people are getting him mixed up with Samuel Fainu, who is definitely an option. So yeah, Sione Fainu, he's in a void. Yet to play NRL and probably won't make the 17. Hopgood's an avoid for me. There's no real value there. There's too many forwards at the Eels that will play big minutes. So yeah, he's an avoid. The only possible reason to have him in your team is a placeholder to get Fafita after his bye. Mariner's a good option for your centre position. He's a little bit pricey, but he averaged 47 for his last 3 on the wing. Plays for a strong Broncos outfit who are very attacking. The dual position is also handy. Taft's one to watch at the Bulldogs. If he gets that fullback spot, he's definite value. He averaged 33 last year when he got his chances. I think Hands gets the nod round 1. His passing game from dummy half sharp and it puts the Eels on the front foot. He's not quite as good as Lussick fantasy-wise, but he's still 10 points of value, averaging 40 points in 70 minutes in 2023. The dual position is handy, so he's a great first interchange. Fogarty could be a good option to start the year if you want to save money and not go with the Hines-Cleary combo. He'll have the goal kicking this year, plus he will be the dominant half in the team doing most of the kicking. Those points alone indicate there's value in Fogarty. Cartwright's on the list purely because of his price. He's not going to get in the team, so he's an easy avoid. But if there were injuries later in the year, he's definitely one to keep an eye on. Latu Fainu's one to watch during the trials. If it looks like he's going to get the starting spot, he's great value, and he's good to use as a looper in round one. He averaged 33 last year, so I'm pretty confident if he gets in, we'll get good value out of him. Munro's a great option to start the year for your wing fullback position. He's got the spot locked down for now with Campbell out injured and Whiten suspended. He averaged 37 for the 2 games he played there last year. The Rabbitohs are a strong attacking team, so he seems like a no-brainer. Tukur is another cheap player that lots of people have in their teams just because he's cheap. He hasn't played NRL, and I don't think he's relevant at this stage. So he's an avoid. Guy is another cheap player that people have in their teams. He's not going to get a spot, so he's an avoid. Hines is only 16% owned at this stage, but I think he's a must-own. Him and Cleary are standout options above the rest, with break-evens in the 70s. I think you just have to start with both of them. The Sharks have a really good run early on, and he could post some hundreds easily. I think the Sharks showed good form at the end of the year, and he's definitely one I'll be starting with. Smith is a must-own in my opinion. His last 3-round average was 53, and he averaged 44 for games over 50 minutes. There's good value there. The Roosters are going to need him to start strong, and I'll definitely be starting with him round 1. Ponga is another must-own. He finished the season with 63 average for his last 3, and he averaged 69 once he took over the goal kicking. He's the gun to have in your wing fullbacks. Arthurs is an avoid for me. Even though he's cheaper than Mariner, he has a lot of low scores in his game. You really want to go basement price if you want a centre or wing fullback on your bench. Schuster's a tricky one. He's definitely one to watch. He's great value if he gets the 80-minute edge roll at the Seagulls. However, he's had lots of ups and downs with injuries and fitness, so we need to see that he's back before bringing him into our team. Stewart's one to watch in trials. If he gets the number 1 jersey at the Raiders, he'll definitely be in my team. Great value, basement price, average 39 in New South Wales Cup means there's good value there. Hammer is a good option in your centres. He scored 8 tries in his first 6 games last season, and with Farnworth and Averillo in the team, there should be even more attacking opportunities for him. However, with the early buy-in round, Leniu averaged 39 when playing over 40 minutes at the Panthers, which shows potential, but I just don't think he's going to get the minutes at the Roosters. At this stage, he's an avoid. Flanagan is a great option. He's safe for at least 5 points of value, where he averaged 30 playing next to Burton. If he gets the goal kicking, that value increases even more. Mam is an avoid for me. There's so many halves with more value, and he's not the dominant half at the Broncos, so there's no real upside. Walsh finished the 2023 regular season with 55 average over his last 3 games. If he can keep that form up at the start of the new year, then he's a good buy. But in my opinion, with the Broncos losing Flegler, Farnworth, and Capewell, they will regress, and so will Walsh. Trbojevic averaged 24 and 48 minutes last year when he played on the edge. If he gets the 80-minute edge spot, he'll have value, so he's one to watch during trials. However, I think Schuster will get the spot. Cutter is a good option because he averaged 60 minutes in his last 3 games, and he averaged 49 points when he played over 50 minutes last season, and 55 points when he played over 50 minutes the year before. So he's a low-risk value pick. Hughes had a ppm of 1 last year, averaging 14 and 14 minutes. There's a good chance he gets a bigger minute role this year, and he's a great option to start the season. Long finished the year with a last 3 average of 41, and in games over 50 minutes he has a 44 average. So he's a good option. We just have to wait and see if he gets the spot on the edge at the Roosters. Willison is another great option, averaging 19 and 18 minutes. With Flegler gone, he should get more minutes this season. Grant is the best scoring hooker in the game. I prefer to go with value options in this position this year, but if you want consistent points, he won't let you down. With Brinson going to the centres this year, Campbell should have the number 1 spot. He averaged 45 in the last 3 games at fullback last year, and he has a 44-point average over his career at fullback, so he's great value. What lets him down is that he's got a bye round 2, so I would say he's a great pickup for round 3. Iro was New South Wales Cup Player of the Year in 2022. He's got lots of talent, and everyone hopes that he gets the starting spot at the Sharks. He'll be great value, but we just have to wait and see. Pappenhausen is a proven gun and a must-own. He's dropped in value due to injuries and playing off the bench, but he can average in the 50s easily. Strange is another young gun to watch, averaging 31 in New South Wales Cup last year. I'm hoping he gets the 5/8 spot ahead of Weeks, but he should be in the centres at the start of the season, so he is a good buy. Piakura is a great option on the edge. He should get an 80-minute role with Capewell gone, and his stats show that he got 48 average for the last 3 games he played over 60 minutes, so there's great value. Weeks has moved to the Raiders and is hoping to lock down the 5/8 spot. If he's named round 1, his ownership requires that we have him in our team, but I don't see great value in him, and he could be someone we end up having to trade out early, especially if Strange ends up taking his spot. Curran is a must-own. He's got great value when he can average 50 playing more than 50 minutes. If he gets the starting lock role or even prop, he should be good value. Get him in your team. I think Haas is another must-own. He killed me at the start of last season when he started so strong. He's the best mid in the game, and with Flegler gone, they might rely on him even more. I think you have to have him in your team. And lastly, Cleary. He's the best player in the game, most influential. Panthers have won 3 in a row for a reason, and he is a big part of it. You can't start the season without this guy. He could get hundreds early, and then you'll be left behind. Don't make that mistake. Hines and Cleary combo is where it's at. They both ended last year strong, and I think they'll be looking to step it up again this year. So that's it for this video. I hope you got something out of it. I might make another tier list video before round 1 starts, ranking the players in each position. But I just wanted to show in this video that even though players are highly owned, it does not always make them good options. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I show my current draft and discuss key talking points around building your round 1 team.